you can see we have this trading strategy here, and this trading strategy only trades 1 hour between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to show you a few back tests in this video because I want to show you over and over again how different each back test comes out. And if you have a strategy that you're running and you haven't back tested it, it's 100% gambling. So if you have a strategy you're running with that you have back tested, now you're not like 100% gambling, you're like 60%. So I'm just gonna run this, and this is where we stopped last time. We ran into a little error here, and this was just because I had a little piece of code that I had copied over. So all you have to do to get rid of that is this, delete this. If you're following along from last time, all you gotta do is delete that. And then I actually had another little error here. I was dividing by 1,000. Don't know why I would do that, but anyways, this is optimizing the back test. I'm not gonna run it with this much data because this is from 2015 and it's a 5-minute interval, so 5-minute periods all the way from 2015. That's gonna take a really long time. So let's try to open it up a little more though, and try to test this on like a 15-minute. Let's go ahead and grab some data here. I've got this file here that allows me to grab data. Let's go say historical back test, and let's do from 2020, and let's do 15-minute. It's gonna take a while, but that's okay. While this is optimizing, well, look at that, boom. So we just back tested it. So you might be trading a strategy that in reality never triggers. This one never triggered. And if your strategy, like, you don't know in the past if it's triggered or not unless you like hand back tested it. So we're going to be trying to buy some liquidity pockets here, and we'll just go ahead and say import back testing, and then from back testing .lib lib import crossover, and then import TA-lib for sure, and then from back testing .test import, no, I'm not actually going to do that, import pandas as PD, and then we'll say class SMA strategy, say back testing dot strategy, say period 1 equals 10, period 2 equals 50, and then we'll init self dot SMA1 equals self dot I TA-lib dot SMA self dot data dot close time period equals self hi dot period 1. And we got to change this here, and then I'm gonna copy this over and change this to period 2 here, change this to period 2 here, and that should be Gucci. Okay, and then we want to say self dot volume equals self dot data dot volume, and then we want to say def next self if crossover of self dot SMA1 and self dot SMA2 or self dot volume of -1 is greater than self dot volume of -2 multiplied by 1.1. Sweet. Then we'll buy self dot buy elif crossover is self.sma2 self.sma1, then we'll self.sell. Perfect. And now we're Gucci. And that's the whole strategy. And I don't know, maybe this is something like the strategy you're trading by hand. I don't know. Maybe not. But I don't even know how this does. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see. Let's go ahead and let's actually optimize this one. So I'm gonna jump back here to this one here, grab that because I'm lazy, paste it in here, and then now it's gonna optimize the SMA strategy. And you can see here, boom, still have the commission of 0.002, which is high, I know, but that's good in my opinion. We're gonna say 5, 15, and 1. Excuse me. And this is going to be period this time, period 1. And this is going to be period 2. And this is going to be 30, 75. 30, 70, and Cinco. And I think that's going to be good. And this is going to optimize from 2020, because you can see this is BTC USD 6 hour from 2020. Might not get many trades, but that's okay. We'll try the 15-minute as well. So you can see this is again only a one trader, so not much difference between buy and hold. Let's go ahead and try that 15-minute. Paste it in here, and now we'll run that, see how it does on the 15-minute, see if it gets a few more trades. But at the end of the day, you know, this is why I truly believe hand trading doesn't work. It's because if you're hand trading, you probably aren't back testing, so you don't really know. This one has 19 trades and it lost 100%. Knowing that this is all just a bunch of people that are kind of gambling, because there's a lot of hand traders there. Well, you can kind of take advantage of that in a capitulation backtest, or I mean not backtest, obviously an algo, if you can tweak it right. But I want to show you the results from this one, and then I want to show you the results from this next capitulation one, and just make sure that you have all the code as well, because then, you know, if you are a coder or you're interested in learning how to code, then you can actually get something useful out of scrolling on YouTube. You know, I scroll on YouTube all the time, but I want to make sure that you like leave here with a goodie bag. So let's go ahead and say from TAlib import SMA. You can see down below it's still optimizing, so we're good to go. And then we'll say import pandas as PD, and then class my strategy. Just pass in strategy to that. It's pretty simple. And then we do the init self. Let's say self dot liquidation equals false, and then self dot SMA equals self dot I, and then SMA self dot data dot close, and then 50. And then we'll set up the next statement, def dot next, or def next self, and then if self dot data dot close -1 1.3 times self dot data dot open in the -1 position. So remember, this is a capitulation trade. We'll say self dot liquidation equals true. Then if self dot liquidation and self dot data dot volume of -1 is bigger than 1.2 times self dot data dot volume of -2, so 1 back versus 2 back, then we'd say self dot buy, and would set liquidation to false. And then lastly, we'll say if crossover of self dot data dot close self dot SMA, then we'll say self dot sell. And that's going to be our capitulation trade. So that's the strategy here. And now all we have to do is pull in the other data that we were just using. So where is it? Let's go here. I kind of like the 15-minute data though, so I think I'm gonna use that one. But I'll just copy this in here, and just so you have like the whole goodie bag, all the code. Just want to make sure you got that. Let's go ahead and say we need to import my strategy first off, and we've already imported backtesting. So backtest, and then this should work. It just depends on, we don't have a take profit and stop loss, so we're not going to optimize this one. Results, oops, I think so we have our data in here, which is necessary. We capitalize the data, we drop na, we backtest it right here. We pass in the data, my strategy, cash, and commission. And then output, let's do result equals bt dot, let's just do dot run instead of optimize, since there is no stop loss there. And then we'll print result and we'll plot. So let's see how it does on the 6 hour first, and then we'll see how it does on the other. So you can see it only made one trade, so kind of pointless. Let's see how it did though. 54% versus 57%. So there's another like reason why hand trading doesn't work, because like the last example I gave you was -4%, right? How do you know your buddy over there isn't trading that one and you're trading this one? Well, sure, like you might have good returns at 54% per year, but why not just buy and hold? And the strategy that is optimal for you to run right now may actually just be one trade a year, like this one shows. You know, so if it's one trade for that long and you're trading 20 times, those 19 are like gambles. Paste it in here, and now we'll run that, see how it does on the 15 minutes, see if it gets a few more trades. But at the end of the day, you know, this is why I truly believe hand trading doesn't work. It's because if you're hand trading, you probably aren't back testing, so you don't really know. This one has 19 trades and it lost 100%. I don't see that very often. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I've ever seen that actually. How does he even lose 100%? How can a strategy be that bad? Did I sell? But this thing is like, I hope you've back tested the strategy that you're trading by hand, if you're a believer in hand trading. I hope by the end of this video, or now, that you believe that hand trading is not the way to go, because if you're hand trading, you probably don't have the back test, and then if you don't have the back test, you don't know how well it does. You saw the variance here. This one does 19 trades and got liquidated ASAP. I think it's pretty wild. Let's go ahead and try to I should do this. I'm gonna try this as a close instead of having it as a sell. Close isn't the right thing to say though. Anyways, I'll play with this a little bit, but you know, one thing I could do here is, as you saw, it got liquidated. It was because it was going short here, so it got rocked right there. One thing in this strategy I would do is, instead of trying to go long and short, just close the strategy instead of shorting. Just have that be the sell trigger. But there's all types of things you can test with back testing. That's why I love it, and that's why I do it so much. So I can do this forever, but I'll save some of the good